And we are back with another UKEL Eversio session. It is Thursday, guys. As you know, Mondays and Thursdays, that's when UKEL happens. Um, for those bright minds keeping track, following us until the end, I see we have some trouble here in the viewership. I hope it spikes a bit better, but I don't blame you. Eversio currently on a 3-0 lose streak. I really hope we can recover this. It's definitely something I would like to see. Tonight I will be casting this alone. Sadly my co-host had a bit of trouble, a bit sick perhaps, but all good here. No co-host today. Alright, so we're just waiting for the teams to draft now. Some good news, some bad news, okay? So let me just swap on over just in case they start. Good news is the classic Eversio lineup is finally here. It's been 4 games until we get to the actual lineup, so it's nice to see. So it will be Iconic in the AD carry role. Not that it would have made too much of a difference in my opinion. I think Ventus played pretty well in his own regard, but the bad news is we are facing Emrys, to my knowledge one of the better teams in this whole competition. So let's see how it goes here. We start off the bans with Kayn, targeting the Emrys jungle. I remember Emrys had a jungler that likes to play like the Nidalee, the Lee Sin. I hope I'm not making stuff up, but to my knowledge that's the case. We see Yon banned for Drakor classically. Varus banned now that Iconic is back. Strong AD carry here. Akshan being banned from Eversio, an interesting choice. Not really a champion you see banned all too often. Also see that Nami ban as well. Interesting bans all around, I have to say. Nami maybe disables the ability to play Lucian or Brand potentially for Emrys. I don't know if these are champs they like in the bot lane, but that's what Nami has to offer most of the time. And the last ban here will be Darius. So Yasuo is open. We potentially have the Ahri pick from Drakor open as well. Corki is open for Iconic. Jinx is open. Ashe is open. A lot of champs could be picked up here by Eversio. I'm curious to see what it would be. Taking their sweet time here, Eversio. There it is. It will be the Zeri pickup. The first pick Zeri from Eversio. I have to say, I was not expecting this one. Zeri, I don't think is in the best of states at the moment, but of course it's Iconic. He's back in action. Always delivers. So it's nice to see Iconic here confidently picking up a champ. Will Zeri take Eversio over the winning line? Their first match to be won here. Emrys respond with Maokai and Tristana. Now, Maokai I assume is in jungle, but this can be played in the top or support role, although not commonly. It's also a way to deny Brickun from going Maokai. He's had good success on it. The Tristana may be a bit more of a favorite pick. I don't know how it does into the Zeri, but I like the Milio pick. He will be able to deny a lot of what Tristana wants to offer. Let's see what Eversio will go here. They could go for the jungle matchup here against the Maokai. Question is which one? You want something that's not too weak. They have Milio, Zeri bot lane, so you want to kind of protect them. If you go something like Vi or the typical bruiser, it's a bit too weak. In fact, they're not really sure what to go yet. They just lock in the Yasuo for Drakor. I do feel like they were thinking about a jungle there, but they were not really sure which one to pick up. And to be fair, it's not that easy, but they do blind the Yasuo. And that is a Lulu. So we are sure that Maokai is potentially jungle or top here as Emrys, considering this Lulu pickup. It is locked in. Alright, so next bans here for Emrys. Jungle and top lane left. We could see bans like the Trundle. I think it's a good ban as well. It does negate a lot of what Maokai wants to do. I'm not too sure what other bans here they might go for here in the top lane. Ornn is a good ban. It just escaped my mind at the moment, but yes, Ornn for Aiglos has typically come out to win, so a nice ban here from Emrys. Alright, sorry mechanics. I don't know when that happened, but apparently Zer is the most overpowered AD carry in the game. Okay. Jax being banned out here by Eversio. Another potential way of Aiglos saying, hey, if I'm gonna blind, I'm not blinding into Jax. See, Trundle is banned, so they are sort of thinking about it. I'm really curious as to what Brickun's options are at the moment now. And Bessa, something similar here to Jax. Aiglos doesn't want to give the potential of these champions. I think decent hyper carries, good setup with the Maokai as well. So let's see what Emrys take. They will have to blind something, but of course mid lane is an option, so they don't need to blind necessarily. I'm really curious as to what's going on. Do they think that maybe Aiglos could go for the Yasuo top? Hey, I mean, if you ask him, he probably plays it, but it's not something we've ever seen. But I think this is their way of maybe leaving their mid lane with all the options available. Let's see. They could have had the option to counter with mid and not blind top, but now that Eversio know that it's going to be a Sion top, they go for the Gwen. I mean, Emrys could be cooking up something. I don't know if they're going like Sion jungle, Maokai top lane or something weird like that, you know, but I think Gwen does great into both. And let's see what their last pick is. It has to be the jungle. It is going to be Sejuani. So a lot of enabling coming out of Yasuo and Gwen. Sejuani, good that we do have a frontliner. And I don't think anyone in particular can burst out Brickle. Let's see what their mid lane pick is though. Emrys could pick up something strong here against the Eversio lineup here. Really interested what they decide. Sylas is being hovered. It's pretty decent. Has good ults, mostly in Gwen and Sejuani. And it is locked in, but I'm not too sure about it. I mean, there's a lot of things you have to be aware if you're playing Sylas. Sejuani could stun you, Gwen can cut you up, you know, Yasuo, kind of the same thing. Zeri can definitely kite you. But this is the comp that we have. Guys in the chat, I don't know if you have any comments you'd like to share about these team comps. From what I see currently, I think Eversio have what it takes to take it forward. I'm not too sure how Sylas Yasuo works out in the mid lane. I think Emrys would have had an easier time with something a bit more maybe of a threat towards the Sejuani. It can back up as well the Tristana Lulu from range, while Sion and Maokai in the middle, but Sylas could get snowballed, and of course he does deal a lot of damage when ahead. I'm not too sure how Aiglos goes down though, or how Sejuani goes down either. Let's see, Return of the King, Mr. Iconic, back in action on the Eversio spot here. He's done wonders. He's definitely one of the highlight characters on this team that does get them victory after victory for the most part. So it's nice to see them catch their first win today. Especially with him being back is kind of a statement. Also, of course, we did used to have Living jungling for us instead of Brickun. He was also doing a decent job at holding this team together. But Brickun trying his best. We can see in his gameplay as well. Not too sure what's going on in the chat here. I'm seeing that we're maybe waiting on someone to get ready here. And the readies. Of course. We say ready, but no one starts the game, huh? Ready to hit the start button. Let's see. Alright, while they sort that out, let me just consider once again how team fights go. So Tristana Lulu against Miliozeri, I think, should be in Emrys' favor. Tristana Lulu have a really strong early game. Milio is kind of similar to Lulu, but tends to scale a bit better, has a bit of a weaker early game. Zeri, of course, does have good opportunities to find damage, but if you're comparing it to a Tristana, especially if he doesn't get knocked out from the Milio. So, in classic Eversio sense, I would expect Awaken and Iconic to play it rather safe unless Emrys makes mistakes, and then scale up into those mid-game fights as Eversio like to do. Mid lane, Yasuo and Silas. Not too sure what's going on there. I'd like to say it's Yasuo favored, just because of Yasuo taking potentially lethal tempo, and in general, AD tends to be better in a long drawn fight in the earlier game, especially if you have the attack speed advantage. Of course, each attack could represent, let's say, an ability, or maybe, let's say, 2 attacks represent an ability's worth of damage. So if you can get 3 attacks for every Silas's ability, you're gonna be winning those trades. And I think Dracor knows what he's doing. He's always been confident when it comes to picking up the champs he usually plays. Next, let's talk a bit about the jungle matchup here as Berkun Sejuani against the Emrys' Maokai. Relatively similar playstyle, very slow, clear speed, but gonna be there to sort of help his team. Be low resources, drop camps where needed to try and get the edge. I think Maokai potentially scales a bit better, but Sejuani has stuns, while Maokai has knockbacks. It's hard to debate that argument. I mean, at the end of the day, they're 2 tanks. They're going to be dealing CC. Whoever prioritizes who better, I think it's going to be more of a mental diff rather than a champ diff in this case. And lastly, top lane, Aiglos' Gwen against the Emrys' Sion. Now, there could be a world where where Sion goes more of like the lethality option, and that is very strong against Gwen. To be honest with you, the lethality Sion could one-shot Gwen before Gwen ramps up, but of course, if Aiglos doesn't fall too far behind, or hey, as in classic Aiglos fashion, he finds some kills earlier on, this lane should be very Aiglos favored. Gwen dealing the percent health, even healing, based on how much her enemies are dealt damage. So overall, I think, as we've explained here, Eversio potentially having 2 out of 4 matchups here winning. Sorry, out of 3 matchups winning here in the mid and top lane. While Zeri Milio would rather scale, but I think they do have the advantage come level 3, 4, etc. Especially with Awaken sort of kicking away the Tristana. It all depends on how it plays out. Feel free to disagree in the chat, of course. Let me know if you have any advice, if you are supporting Emrys, if you're supporting Eversio. We really need that support to come through. We need Eversio to get their first win. Let me quickly advertise in our Discord channel of what's going on here today. So let's see, yep. Come on and support Eversio. We need that first win. Connect is back. Alright guys, I've done all I can. I've sent the messages. I've asked for support. It's all up to you guys. Give Eversio your spirits, they need them. 30 seconds away from seeing this game, and let's see how it goes. Oh, we're already loading in. My, so let's switch on over to the in-game scene. Eversio. Oi. Alright, nice to see some support actually coming up from Danica and Same. It's always nice to see. Come on guys, let's be honest. We're getting our first win today, right? This is the day we make history. It's a bit of a shame for our current showing. We did so well last time. Having a bit of trouble this time around though. Alright, no invades to be had. Everyone fully respecting one another. I would assume some action from Bakun at the top side. If I were to gank, I'm definitely ganking the Gwen or Yasuo. They enable my passive. While Maokai kind of has all options, I would assume top and mid are priority. But if he can land a root onto either Zeri or Awaken, yeah, I mean Tristana can get out a lot of damage in a short span of time. Alright, let's see it. It's nice to see Iconic and Awaken back in the bot lane. I was getting a bit worried, but luckily it is gonna be them there. They are back. Turn on some sounds, guys. I know you guys like to hear it rather than just my breathing. Alright. Some quick trades here. Iconic taking a bit too far damage there. I would assume they know that they won't get ahead earlier on here. Iglos having a nice time, especially considering he's playing Gwen. Finding this easy pressure earlier on means he'll have a good time to scale. Look at that. Already half health and all potions burnt on this Scion. That's what you like to see. Ball jungler is killing bot side, so my prediction's out the window. We could have a massive big fight in the bot side here in a few minutes. Not much to say at the moment. Nice to see my prediction in the mid lane. This come true. It does seem like Drakur is having not too bad of a time. Oh, Brikun finds the Maokai here. These a ton of damage to him. Just goes to show the difference when he's playing a champion he's confident on. Knows his limits, knows what Maokai is all about. He knows he can take that trade, take the scuttle, and dip. We see again both junglers kind of mirroring each other, trying to go for that scuttle, as Brikun is helping Drakur get the push in, so that Drakur can safely recall without using teleport. Emrys is trying to find a play here, but Iconic and Awaken are just too good at knowing their limits, at kiting it out. What started as a good trade for Emrys turned into a slow slaughter. Oh no, Iconic takes a bit step too far. First blood dropping here from Iconic. That's not what you expect from our Wonder ADC. Definitely a bit of an oversight. Come on, Eversio, this is our game. This is it. This is the game we win. We come back from it. We reverse sweep until finals. Come on. Drakur having the time of his life currently in this mid lane. Brickun doing the right choice here, hovering his mid lane. I think a few seconds too late perhaps, as Maokai was there. That is Drakur's flash going down. Oh. Now I would expect our bot laners to be very disciplined. Give space where it's needed, as per usual. A bit caught off guard there with that dragon. But Eversio are aware of the situation. They are aware that Tristana with BF Sword heavily out damages Iconic at the moment. And they're more than happy to take a reset instead of the dragon. Aiglos! Slowing down my heart rate. 20 CS lead and 10 HP on that Scion. He does run away though. Oh, there's the combination. Brickun finds the stun. Forces Silas to flash. Aiglos finds the solo play. Flashes away. The dash to safety. A nice solo play by Aiglos, as predicted from Champ Select here. Brickun has always been stellar at these early game plays and these ganks. Drakur does capitalize and they do burn the Silas flash from Baki Hanma. Alright, Eversio retaliating. Currently leading in gold, especially mostly due to Aiglos. However, overall, CS-wise, mid and top, having a fun time as expected. Let's see if we can help our bot lane a bit better. The moment Iconic and Awaken start getting these kills, they're going to be a lot to handle for Tristana Lulu. Brickun potentially could have landed a massive ult there, but Maokai's flashed. Let's keep track of that. Eversio want to play for these grabs. We don't have Gwen ult, which is a big deal. Awaken does get caught out there. Half his health is down, but he's still gonna want to stay in the back line. Eversio could contest this. Gwen ult is here. Drakur has his ult. Maokai doesn't have flash. Brickun gets caught out though as both junglers get targeted out. Brickun flashes away. So he does stay alive at the very least. Down goes Maokai. Aiglos still trying to find more. The Q doesn't land. Drakur is on top of this Tristana and he does land the kill. So far, Eversio playing this fight picture perfectly here. Walking away with 10 HP. 3 kills. Potentially 5 now if Silas goes down. A bit of an overstep perhaps by Aiglos, but nothing that causes any real damage. And Brickun is still here to pick up the grubs. Amazing play, guys. This is what I wanted. Now finally Eversio on the board. 5-1. Now let's not count it a win just yet. Let's not get overconfident. They've been in similar positions in past games, and I'm hopeful we can retain it this time. Hard to expect though the 3-0 Gwen at 9 minutes with Lich Bane and first strike, so he's going to be making even more gold thanks to his damage. And the 2-0-2 Yasuo here as well will have a hard time carrying this game, but I stood corrected in the past. Let's hope I'm right this time. See here. I want to talk a bit about the items here. Tristana did finish her Yuntas. Quite a big spike. Conic. Still a couple of hundred gold away here before completing it. But they do have a great freeze here in the bot lane. Bricoon is around. We could get a bot lane gank into this dragon from Eversio. This could be the next play. Dakur. This Maokai gank was really random. I'm sorry, but I don't know if they know that. Oh no, Eversio don't even have wards. That Maokai could have just came from around and done a lot of damage to Drakur before this dragon. Luckily he does not. He just comes and presses Q on the wave. Junglers, am I right? Alright, let's see here. Oh, potentially some action here. As my prediction comes true, we did not get a gank, but we are pressuring this dragon. Let's see here, we have to pay attention. The Tristana does have Yuntas. And inside of Eversio we're still lacking an item. We do get the Scuttle Crab. Dragon is started. Bricoon finds the engage onto Tristana, but everyone's sort of moving around. It's a smite off. Maokai does land the smite, but he does fall as well. So one kill down for Eversio. Let's see if we can catch more. We see them splitting up here as Drakur ults the Lulu. Now is it enough? 2 Qs were missed. Oh, that Q should have totally hit, but anyways, 2 kills for Eversio. No dragon. If it does lead to the dragon soul, it's of course worth it for Emrys, but in terms of what's happening right now in this early mid game, definitely a big win for Eversio. You need the kills, you need the gold. We need to get these first items to win even more fights in the future. And look at Iglos. Sadly he's for those paying attention, but he did burn flash as well. So that is a flashless Gwen in the top lane. If only he had more mana there to execute. Looking pretty strong for Eversio this time round. 7-1, and we are ahead in gold as well. That's a current 4k gold lead for Eversio. We're getting there. I think around 10k is when you start sort of pulling out the white flag, but Blade of the Ruined King finished for Drakur. Lichbane has been finished for a while for Iglos, and Yunta is now complete on Iconic. Moonstone for Awaken, a lot of big items getting finished here. We also see the Rocket Belt for Silas, Locket of the Iron Solari, actually for the Maokai. This is kind of an old build, haven't seen that in a while. But yeah, it is built on him. Look at Iconic taking a big chunk of damage. Tristana just such a strong champion, especially in the 1v1. Might have a slight fight around this Rift Herald, although I don't think anything will prioritize it that hard. Oh, here it comes. Awaken fails his Q. He does flash away, but it's not enough. He does fall down, and here comes Iconic. A lot of damage coming out on both parties. Iconic does land the double kill. Sadly, Maokai was around to return the favor. That's a 2 for 2. If Maokai wasn't there, would have been favoring the Eversio lineup, of course. Damn, Awaken took so long to fall down. Iconic did all the damage there. Some great spacing here by Iglos for those paying attention as well. Dodges the Scion Q using the pixel perfect Gwen W. You don't see that every day. Woohoo! Alright. Alright, we have a gank in the top side here as you are paying attention to minimap. See Bricoon and Iglos collecting here. Forcing the Scion out. And he will get out of there. Let's see how it goes here. Awaken in the meanwhile. is in the center of attention here as Emrys find the quick pick. This also means Iconic is in danger here. He could get dove. We see the remainder of Emrys coming through. Good damage from Tristana here, preparing Iconic for the dive on a silver platter for his team. This was not foreseen by Eversio. Oh, there comes the ult by Iconic. But he's gonna get quickly ulted by Tristana and then polymorphed. He can't really do nothing. He gets CC'd right away. And Maokai walks away. That's a turret as well on top. Emrys picking up their slack. The gold is now halved. But Eversio secured the Rift Herald. So let's see what they do with it. I would have expected them to send Iglos bot by now. Potentially Awaken and Iconic could go in the mid lane. And Yasuo can side lane against this Sion. He does have Blade of the Ruined King after all. And Sion is building Magic Resist. However, I'm not one to question it. They might still be a bit tired from all the traveling they had. They're usually on the forefront to make such decisions quicker. Oh, there's the flash from Bakun, gets the knock up. Yasuo engages as well. Tristana jumps away though thanks to Lulu ult. Drakur gets taken down to very, very low numbers. Hard steals across the board. Bakun now in the middle of 4. As they're engaged, did not turn a kill. Bakun going down right away as Sylas sneaks in the kill. The counter damage here from Emrys is a bit too strong. It seems like Eversio are stalling this fight. Iconic does get caught out, but he's still alive. Look at that shield. A lot of shielding coming out from Awaken and Barrier. In exchange for this dragon though, Drakur and Iglos take both tier 2 mid and top. So their carry is getting 600 gold there. Sorry, 450, but for a dragon. Now it is soul point though for Emrys. A bit of a dangerous game that Eversio are playing, but gold wise, so far making sense in my eyes. It's a bit troubling though if Sejuani burns flash in the Yasuo ult and we can't take down this Tristana. This is something we need to look out for in the future. Bakun finding some time to clear his camps. He's actually up in CS this game, doing a swell job trying to find initiatives and engaging for his team. We didn't comment on this before, but Iglos finishing his Shadow Flame and a large rod on top. There's a lot of AP coming out for him. Speaking of Iglos, he's caught in the middle of 3 here, flashes out, but the rocket jump from Tristana does reset when the bomb explodes. He does get the shutdown onto Iglos. That's honestly, that's on a level of tragic, guys. One of our main carries gets taken down for Emrys' carry and the shutdown on top. That could mean Infinity Edge. And look at just the sheer pushing power of Tristana. I don't know, Tristana looks like the best AD carry in the game at the moment. From this game alone, okay. But no, he's doing work, Mr. Doros. Iconic still having a bit of a hard time to find his footing. I'm not really sure what was the case for that, or how we can change that in the current game scenario, but it does seem like the option to go topside here for this Atakan is chosen by Eversio. They have good ward coverage. They know the entrances. Now let's see if they get a pick before trying to start it. And no, they're just gonna start it. They're on a ward as well. So Emrys know about it. Bakun engages that one. I'm not too sure who would have followed up on it, but there's the smite by Bakun. This was such a risky play, guys, but at least they got the Atakan. And now let's see the fight here that follows. Drakur did fall, Iglos falls soon after. Damn. What's going on here? Maokai finds the re-engage. There it goes, Iconic. Birkun falls as well. Awaken falls soon after as well. That's a complete wipe for Eversio, against Eversio, guys. I'm losing my voice here. I can't keep commentating, seeing Eversio do this. It's such a shame every time we have such a beautiful early game. I'm not too sure what it really is that we're doing so wrong here. It's just decision making and team fights in general. But yeah. Is it over, Jansen? No, it's not over, but when you draft champions like Yasuo, you know, you'd like to be in a bit of a better position here. We need Iglos to take it a bit slower, come a bit later into the fight, get his Rabadons, wait for Birkun to find an engage that Drakur engages on as well, and while that happens, almost instantaneously, Iglos can go in, and Zeri can go in. Emilio drops a W between them, something like this. We're seeing Birkun engage a bit too quick, Drakur does follow, but then there's no one with that much mobility that can follow up. They're having a bit too much split fights as well. Let's take it a bit back here and see what could potentially happen here. This is another fight over this dragon. It is Dragon Soul at a really bad timing. Emrys are looking really strong for this soul. 3 items on that Tristana. This is problematic, guys. If you're an Eversio fan, Emrys have soul here. Eversio need to play this fight somewhat miraculously, let alone picture perfect. Miraculously. That's the only way they can somehow capture this dragon. Let's see how it goes. Iglos burns W. He's going in. Still a bit in the thick of it. There's the smite steal. There's the dragon soul. Let's see here. Damage across the board. Birkun falls. Iglos gets the kill, but Silas returns the favor as Iglos falls. Drakur falls. A lot of recess from the Susana. Susana does fall to Iconic though, however. Iconic soon falls to the Silas. Triple kill for Baki Halma here. Awaken, the last member of his team standing. 4 wiped, no dragon. Is it over, Jansen? Well, it's getting there. Hate to say it, but we might be 2 to 4 minutes away from the end, depending on how Emrys plays this. So I'd assume they'd be recalling soon, trying to get Baron pressure. Surely they don't stay on for too long, because Birkun does spawn in. And it does seem like the inhibitor gets left alone. It's a bit unfair, guys. They're on their 4th game, but this is the first time they're playing with the real roster. So if you can excuse the earlier sort of, I don't know, and this game and maybe the next one, you know, until they get back their footing. I hope they're practicing, putting in the time to play some games when not participating in the UKL, but that should help them iron out the kinks, get their communication flowing a bit better as well. Alright guys, from my end, not much to say at the moment. I was hopeful, but I didn't let it all go to my head. Sadly though, it is the case where we had a beautiful early game turn a bit against us here. Now Baron is coming up. Luckily Iglos does finish his 3rd item, and it is Gwen after all. For those that aren't too familiar, this champion can pretty much kill the entire team all her own. Iglos uses the first part of his ult here, and Sion ults away. So it's an ult for ult trade in the bot side. Both top laners won't have ults, which I think is more problematic for Eversio, as Gwen ult, and he is their main carry, carries a lot of weight. But Yeah, I guess I'm speaking in hindsight, right? Eversio don't really contest this Baron. And they will drop it right away. Okay, guys. Baron secured for Emrys. Like to be a bit more hopeful than this, but there's a flash. Oh, we might find something here. Eyeglass is on the outskirts. He does not have ult. I will back off. Eversio just trying to find something here a bit quick. Did not work out, sadly, for them. Look at the damage from Eyeglass. It's just 1 Q. Oh, but there's the Silas ult into the Zhonya's. Baits in some members of Eversio, but not everyone. They will back off. There's Sion ult coming through. Some damage onto Drakur. It's really this guy Doros on his Tristana that we need to pay attention for. Emrys pushing into the base. They have the Baron buff. They will be pushing on the top lane turrets as they send Tristana to carry that job on over. Eyeglass using his ult here to shove it off the wave, to shove the minions. But in the backline here, a bit of disaster perhaps, as see Drakur falling below half with Maokai and Silas on the onslaught. Seems like Emrys are not fully certain on how to finish this game. Let's see how it goes. Eyeglass dashing in. This is not the play you want to see, but then again he doesn't have ult. So Eyeglass falls. Silas, do we get Silas at least? The healing is absolutely crazy. Sion falls, but not before Tristana can get a pentakit. Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is, guys. At this point, yes. At the beginning of the game, there was more to say, of course. We were leading 7-1, 4k up. A couple of throws here and there. Not paying attention to the macro, which is very unlike Eversio. But sadly, it is the case for today, guys. Let's not give up on them. Please don't give up on them. Keep tuning in. I'm sure we're going to get back on track. As per usual here, Eversio always likes to do a bit of fun in the beginning. Before we sort of get back our footing. GG's, guys. Better luck next time. That's the 4th defeat in a row. Hopefully the 5th's the best. Do we have any more games to go? I'll quickly check the schedule. I still hope. But hope isn't going to take me too far, guys. I mean, we have 5 games left, okay? 5 games. We need to do the best out of it, okay? So seeing you guys Monday. Where are we here? Malta time, 7:30 Monday, okay? We're playing against 5v45. We've done well against them in the past. Let's see if we can maybe get in some games. Practice a bit of Eversio. You need to iron out these kinks now that you're back as a full team. Hopefully, you'll see a happy caster next Monday as we pick up our first win. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the casting, and overall, I did my best. Hope to see you as well on Thursday, on Monday, 7:30 p.m. Malta time, 6:30 p.m. if you're in the UK. Still have my hopes, Eversio. You still got this. And until next time, wishing you all a good night.